Hey there, Prairie Plant Girl here. Oh, like the title suggests, I was away for over a week and left my garden with my daughter in charge. Now, she's a grown adult, she can handle it, but everything exploded while I was gone. I had just a really quick look last night, but I thought we would have a closer look together. It's now the middle of July. Here in Saskatchewan, Canada, we've had kind of a cool start to summer. We've had a lot of smoky days, not a lot of good sunshine and heat like we're used to. We had a really dry spell through June, and now we've finally gotten some rain and some sunshine. It's smoky again today. You might be able to tell the video quality might be a little, kind of colors might seem a little off. It's a little bit smoky and overcast today, but things finally have seemed to come into their own. So let's have a look around. Now, I haven't fixed anything up. All I've done is I cut the grass real quick last night. So it's going to be a messy one, but let's have a look at what things are looking like in the middle of July after being gone for a week. We'll start right here with this beautiful plant. It's one of the favorite pots that I potted up this year, and it's looking amazing. A few things in here that need to be deadheaded, like this verbena here. So I'll have to come through and deadhead the verbena, but I grew all of these plants from seed. There's some gladiolus coming in, and there is a dahlia in here, but it's taking its sweet time to get going. But overall, that's looking really nice. Going down onto the patio, these planters, they've looked great actually almost all summer. In fact, this is out of bloom more than it was when I went out. So that's lobelia. I'm probably going to come in and trim that back a little bit. But lobelia and begonias, again, all grown from my own seed. Or not my own seed, but seed that I grew myself in the house here. It's actually, did I plant cannas in here? Well, I must have put some cannas in here, because look at that, there's a canna coming up. I forgot they were even in there. Well, we'll see if they do anything. They're pretty far behind. None showing up in here. Oh, wait, there is cannas showing up in here. Maybe I should cut these begonias back a little bit and let those cannas get going. So I bet there's another one over here, because it's odd. They seem like they're off center. Another pot here. It's looking great. This one gets almost full shade, and boy, hard to tell. It's looking good. Really happy with most of my containers this year. And most of them are grown almost entirely from things I grew myself, started myself inside, so not much happening. I mean, there's things here, but it's not looking so beautiful. That was some self-sown nigella there. I put those begonias. There's a few petunias that I uprooted and moved over here. Peony in the ring there. Cosmos. The cosmos and poppies weren't blooming yet when I left, and they are like a jungle now, full of blooms. Looks like even seed heads on some of the poppies already. This dahlia you could barely see coming up, and now it's probably 3 feet tall out of that pot. Oh, the lady's mantle is all in bloom too. That wasn't blooming yet when I left. Yeah, things are looking good. This pot, I don't know, my hanging baskets I'm not as happy with as my pots, but I need to fix up that hummingbird feeder now that I'm back. The hostas were just starting to get their buds filling out when I left, and now they're, looks like a few are in bloom there. And the cherry trees were just, they had little tiny cherries, and now they're filling out. This one doesn't have very much on it. The timing for the cherry pollination was kind of bad this year, so I'm not sure what my crop will be like. Oh, look at the delphiniums. They're up over the fence. They were not doing that when I left. They were blooming, but they were not that big or that many in bloom yet. Need to cut back the sapoglosis there. I had some ranunculus come back that I had forgot to pull up out of the ground this year. Oh, some big weeds. I'll have to get those pulled. But I don't know, I have like 4 or 5 ranunculus that came back. They're not supposed to come back in my climate. but we had really heavy snow really early that never disappeared this year, and I think it insulated enough it came back. Shasta daisies looking good. Yeah, these cosmos have grown like crazy. Look at this cherry tree. They were not hanging like that when I left. But yeah, I think I was saying the cherries, we got kind of a cold snap. They had blossomed and they were in full bloom, most of the plants, and we got kind of a cold snap where the pollinators weren't really out, so they were full of flowers, but they're not full of cherries because there just wasn't that much pollination. Like, look at my Juliet here. So they're turning red. There's not many on them. They need to get like a dark purple. The Juliet's the earliest, so that's the variety of tree. That's Juliet cherry there. That one's a Romeo. There's one right there that's Cupid, and I can't remember what that variety is. Lots of tree suckers I need to cut back. The cherries are supposed to be a shrub. I grow them as a tree. Monarda wasn't blooming yet when I left. It's looking good. And yeah, things are looking good in here. Sweet peas weren't blooming. I had cut the bee balm back a little bit. Just kind of selectively took some of the seed pods off. It's starting to bloom again. It's looking good. A few weeds in here, but not too bad. Snapdragons are in full bloom, and none of the Rudbeckia was blooming when I left. Now it's looking great. Here's the petunias that I transplanted. They're not doing as well as I'd hoped they'd do. They're not spreading out like they usually do, but they were just dropped seed from last year that was sprouting up, so I moved it. So it was worth a try. Zinnias weren't blooming when I left. They're looking good. Looks like I have some deadheading to do on the roses. The lilies weren't blooming yet when I left. Look at those. Peonies need to be deadheaded. Hydrangea was just starting to bud up when I left. Now this Annabelle, yeah, hydrangea is blooming. Dianthus, that needs to be cut back. More Rudbeckia is about to pop. Some just didn't even come up. You see that stick? There should be a dahlia coming up there. Maltese cross. He's a little deadheading, but looking good. I can't remember the variety of lily that is. I got that as a freebie in a order one time. Looks great. My Asclepias, or butterfly milkweed, opened up. It was just all budded. Tiny little buds, smaller than that when I left. These pots, I think I'll probably trim back the petunias a little bit. They're getting a little scraggly there, but looking good. The geraniums need some deadheading. I need to pick some strawberries, it looks like. I've already had quite a few off of there, but more roses that need deadheading. So let's see what the garden is looking like. Let's start back here. Lots of weeds. Definitely need to come in and do some weeding. And my peas were just starting to look like they're going to fill out when we left. And they are looking. We're picking peas. Lettuce has gone to seed. I need to eat some lettuce. There's some volunteer snapdragons down there. Celery's looking good. There's cabbage up here. That looks awesome. More of the same on this bed. Peas that need to be picked. Cabbage that's heading up, and lettuce that's getting past its prime. Potatoes flowered. Flowers are done now. They were still full of flowers when I left. So I should have some nice baby potatoes in there. It looks like the wind did a number on them. The plants are starting to fall over. Here's the apples. I thinned this apple tree out a few videos ago. You see how nice and big the apples are getting now. So many in there. I don't know if you can see them all. It's looking good. Over here, oh, I picked and froze a bunch of broccoli before we left, but there's lots of side shoots. I'll need to come and get those. And cabbage. Lots of cabbage. That looks gorgeous. I love the look of headed up cabbage. That guy. Beautiful. My peppers. Do some picking of peppers pretty soon here. The zinnias up in between the beets. There's not a lot of beets coming up. I don't know if you can see down there. I did plant some beets between the peppers, but they're not doing much. Volunteer dill. I never plant dill. I just let it come back and volunteer. I've only picked a few peppers this year, but there's lots on the plants now. I don't know if you can see there's 3 on that plant there. Couple big ones down on that plant down there. Smaller ones there. What's that? What is that plant? Because they're growing up. Usually sweet peppers grow down. I thought these were all sweet peppers. Here's your tag. What are you supposed to be? North Star. That's supposed to be a sweet bell pepper. Well, we'll see. Carrots are finally putting on some size. This is in that fabric raised bed. I did a video on that, putting those together a few years ago. One mice chewed holes through one year. I didn't have it stored very well. But this one is still looking great. It has a little algae on the side, but it's still in absolutely excellent shape otherwise. More dill, tomatoes. I pruned these out and tied them up right before I left. I have videos on that if you're interested in how to do that. You don't have to do it, but when you're growing them close together, and some of mine got really far back in this bed, so really close together, almost down the middle. But they're looking good. Full of tomatoes. Oh, let's see here. Oh, squash, squash, squash. These were just like this big when I left. Squash does that though. Once it gets a couple big leaves, gets some sunshine and heat, it just takes off. I wanted to see, I snuck some butternut squash in here between the potatoes and these little peas. And I've been kind of tying these potatoes back. And I don't think they're gonna amount to anything. I'm just not getting enough sun, competing too much. Yeah, I need to pick these peas. All the other squash is looking good. Here's the late planting of garlic that I did this spring. It's looking good. And there you can see the difference. Hopefully you can tell through the string how much taller the stuff I planted in the fall was. I don't think there's actually any squash on here. Oh, the beginnings of a squash on there. Oh, this one's just about to start flowering. It's looking good though. More tomatoes. I don't know if you notice I have herbs down in front of the tomatoes. This is basil. The basil's just not doing much this year. I mean, it's growing, but usually it seems fuller and more robust. But again, we haven't had a lot of heat and sun. It's been kind of a odd summer. Hopefully that's changing. See, I need to get in a weed. More carrots. Now these pots looked fairly sparse when I left. This is cucumbers. Oh, and I have a little cucumber there. So I'll have to get in here. There's cucumbers and sweet peas. Sweet peas were starting to do their thing. Looks like that sweet pea's taken over the rows. We'll have to figure out what's going on there. It's amazing what a week can do when plants decide to hit their stride. Not a lot of flowers on these cucumbers, but we'll see if those little babies are just the leftovers from a female flower or if they're actually going to grow and do something. This is beans. I don't know if it was really windy. I know we had a couple storms while we were gone, and things just don't seem like they wanted to grab onto their trellises like I'd hoped. These pots are kind of fun. I have these 2 flower pots in front of the greenhouse here, and I just kind of stuffed them first in the spring full of spring flowers, and then I didn't pull the spring flowers, I just added the summer flowers in, and they are full, wild and crazy, but kind of fun, and they were not in this much flower when I left. Look at that. It's awesome. They were planted exactly the same, but I don't know if it's the exposure of the sun or what it was, but like that one, the amaranth came up in it. There's supposed to be Dusty Miller in both of these, and I think it got choked out. And then here, oh, I missed that's a potato there. So I'll be pulling those pretty soon, and then there's one right here. Pulling those soon and putting some green beans in. I had planted green beans around it, but it was really old seed and it just didn't come up for some reason. Oh, these beans knew what they were supposed to do. So these are my Lena's beans. They've climbed up the trellis and they're flowering. So that's a good sign. More cucumbers. Now this gets a lot more shade over here. More cucumbers and sweet peas. So it was kind of iffy planting cucumbers here. We'll see what happens with them. And this bed here has just kind of extras of lettuces and cauliflower and kale and whatnot. And again, very shady over here. Oh yeah, I did some beets for greens. So it's not doing a lot, but they are growing, so we'll see. It's kind of an experiment to see. There's trees above here and they're just getting too big for these growing much over here. But just look at how full everything is. These cosmos were half the size and not blooming when I left. So it's starting to look like a bit of a jungle in my backyard again, which I love jungle season. We don't get much of it around here in Saskatchewan, Canada, so I embrace the wild growth and the plants and the life around me all summer long. I do need to come through and definitely do some deadheading, maybe some cutting back, some weeding for sure, and harvesting in the garden. I think I even have enough flowers now to even do a few bouquets, so it might be time for fresh bouquets. They've been pretty sparse around here this year. So thanks for coming along and a little walkthrough after being gone for a week. And keep watching back if you love to see how I grow plants, flowers, vegetables, all sorts of things here in my Saskatchewan garden. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.